I'm Monica Marini and I am the founder of Shakti Den, this new studio here in Whitstable, a studio for health and identity evolution. And here today we are with Pauline. Hello. Who is our transformational coach, but she will explain better what it is that she offers. So I'm going to run you through a couple of questions. First of all, maybe you can introduce yourself and just say who you are, what you do, why you're doing it, because that's very important, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Yeah. I live in Whitstable and I've lived here for 7 years now and I love it. It's beautiful living by the sea. With my children and my dog, and I've been a coach now for many years, and it's mainly been one-to-one coaching, executive coaching, life coaching, with all different kinds of people from different walks of life, different ages, and with people who are curious to learn more about themselves and how they can enjoy life more and achieve what they want to achieve. And in the last year, especially with all the changes that we've been going through, it's been coming to me more and more that I want to work with more people in groups. And I think it's an opportunity to work with more people and for people to experience coaching and for them to learn more about themselves and to learn through other people and hearing things that might resonate with them. And so that's why I'm here now, and I'm delighted to be able to work with you in this space.
Yes. Cool.
The sessions that I'm going to be doing here are really about helping people to become aware of their thoughts, because most of us live in our thinking and we think our thoughts are true and they're real about life, when actually most of them are not. And so, when you continually think something, you believe it to be true, and it can block you or hold you back from, whatever you want to do, or you think you want to do, but you think you can't. And so it's helping people to become aware of that and what's really getting in the way. So in simplest terms, that's what people experience in these sessions.
Yes. So that is very much what we describe in yoga as Maya, the illusion. And when we believe in that illusion, somehow everything falls into that. But how did you become involved in this kind of work then, in terms of what you call transformational coaching?
Yeah. So I've been a coach for 7 years now, and most of my work has been one-to-one, which is amazing, and it is transformational. I've seen people really become aware of the blocks in their lives, and often they think they've got a goal that they're heading towards, but often it's very much in the future, and it stays in the future, and they're wondering why they can't get there. When they become more aware of who they really are, truly are, the goal actually starts to shift. And what they once wanted, they're now becoming aware of, do I really want that? And it starts to become something else, which also helps them to be more present. Because being aware of the fact that something is always in the future, then it is always in the future.
Yes.
And all we have is this moment, which is simple, I know, but actually that is all there is. But in this moment, you might be avoiding something, or you might be numbing, or you might be thinking things that are not working for you.
So would you say that the process is a process of empowerment, in a sense that one becomes more aware, more tuned in with his or her own needs, feelings?
Yeah, and what happens is you become aware of your feelings, which is a significant element of it, because we are often taught that crying is not good. So many times people apologise to me for crying.
Yes.
When it is an emotion that is natural, it is an expression of how you're feeling, but we try and suppress it, or we try not to be angry. Angry is another great one. I'm disappointed. Well, actually, you're angry. Because it's just another version of angry that's acceptable, also we think. And so, you become more aware of your feelings in every moment, and then, what's working for you and what's not working for you becomes clearer. And then so nobody can tell you what to do. I never tell people what to do, because it is only for you to tell you what to do. And so it's getting in touch with your inner wisdom, getting clearer, and the fuzziness is created by the numbing and the thinking and overthinking and, should I do this or should I do that, which is usually what you were told by somebody else. And so when you become aware of your feelings as a barometer for what is for you and what is not, then it gets clearer, it gets easier, and you worry less what other people think.
So in terms of the sessions here, first of all, how long is the session?
So a session is an hour and a half, and nobody is a teacher in this session. We're all sharing, we're all learning from each other. And what can often happen is somebody will say something and somebody else might think, oh, I do that. Or they get a trigger, or they might get angry. Or they might feel sad about what somebody else has said. And they might think it's about this person, but it's not, it's information for them. And so we can explore that and explore what is that trigger telling you? And you'll get some awareness of that. So it's not so much about process to follow, or there might be the odd exercise we'll do, but really it's about getting awareness through an emotional response or something like that tells you something for you.
Okay, so you were around the session for an hour and a half with a group of people.
Yeah.
That means people have to develop some kind of trust in one another, because if they get to that level of intimacy almost, they need to trust their own process as well as support the process of the other people in the group.
Yeah.
And so how many sessions do you think then individuals will need? Does it vary? How do you see that developing in a sense, as a course or for the group?
Yeah, I see it developing because there's 5 sessions initially.
Okay.
But then I plan to do more sessions in blocks of maybe 5, where you take it to another level of understanding. Because it is an ongoing process forever. Yeah. But as you become more and more aware of your thoughts and you catch them, because they are sneaky, they're really sneaky, and sometimes you don't even know you're thinking these thoughts, and they can be running your life almost. And often it's things like, I'm stupid, or I'm not clever enough, or I'm not something enough. And that can get in the way. So when you become aware of a block and you become aware of the thought behind it, then as you go about your daily life, you become aware of these thoughts and then something else. And that's for you. So it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and it gets clearer, so that really the channel running through you is less kind of fuzzy. It's clearer, and so decision making or choices become clearer.
Right. Okay. That seems the solution to all the problems in life.
It does. Yeah, because we are conditioned to think of others, put others first. I do this for you. No. It's the absolute opposite, actually. And the analogy of putting the mask on when the plane's going down, you put it on first, because then you can be of service to others. And it's the same in life. If you nourish yourself, if you meditate, you spend time going in rather than looking at the TV or whatever you do to numb, then the clearer you are, and then you are of service. And then you bring your unique creativity into the world. Because the thing that we often do is compare ourselves to others, and we can't, because we are unique. And so how can you?
Indeed. So, because obviously that means somehow confronting oneself. Yes, looking at oneself. It's much easier to take care of somebody else's. It's much easier to be compassionate or to be angry with somebody else's. When it comes to ourselves, we are somehow reluctant, or we find excuses. We don't have the time, there is no need, or I can't change, all of that. What would you say to somebody who is kind of borderline, thinking, maybe that could help me, but why should I waste time, or why don't I invest? What would you say not that there is an ultimate reward, but what are the more tangible, maybe the more immediate benefits that arise from doing this kind of work?
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned clarity, you mentioned more certainty in making decisions.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is feeling more peaceful. And that feels amazing, and that comes more and more. But also, life is not going to be where you're floating around in some spiritual cloud.
Don't tell me, are you?
You welcome challenge, and it actually is about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because we try and avoid that at all costs. But actually, somebody challenges you, and you think, oh God, here we go again. And it doesn't feel great. But in knowing that there's always something really juicy in it for you to learn, for you to grow. So there's an ease in that, and life, the quality of life is different. And there's less struggle, there's less worrying about what other people think, or less worrying about what's going to happen. We think we can control the future somehow. No. There is no control.
I like that, in a sense, ease comes from almost that level of resistance. It's not ease in terms of like, just let's sit back and lay back and just let life run, that is easy living. That's not it. The how you describe it, that sensation of ease comes from a process of understanding about oneself. So you come into your own skin, you come into your own being, and then you live with ease once you get to that point, which I think is almost like, it's more tasteful, it's got more flavorsome, it's got more depth in it, just than sitting there and thinking, not doing anything, life is easy, because I'm not doing anything. There is that level of ownership also that is very important.
Yeah, and we think we have to be like performance focused and make things happen, when actually the more clear you are, stuff just gets done with ease, with grace, with power, with it's amazing actually when you haven't got that struggle and resistance to things, and when things come in your way, you find a way around it, or you question it, you really get curious. You get curious about your relationships with others. I mean, that is really interesting.
Yes.
And they start to move, and that can be uncomfortable, but it can also be much more authentic.
Well, I will say that this is enough to entice people, and then the best thing is to experience it.
Absolutely.
So you will be running sessions here from the Shakti Den. We will keep everybody informed about when you will be starting. And I think that this also falls into this more general idea that we have here at the Shakti Den of health and identity evolution, somehow supporting people to become the makers of their own well-being. And so I'm so grateful, really, really grateful that you're here with us. And more on the next one.
Thank you, Monica. And I want to say this is a beautiful space to be in. So thank you for creating it.
Thank you.
And yeah, I look forward to it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.